Hi, this is Eric, and I just wanted to go over a couple reasons why I'm going to be canceling my full self-driving subscription. Of course, when I'm shooting my video, it just started raining, so we'll see if I'm able to do this. But just, there's a few things about it that just aren't near ready yet, and I just don't feel it's worth paying money for it right now. So let me show you some examples. Directions to Roasters Coffee, Hiawatha, Iowa. I like that it gives me multiple directions to go now. Okay, so I'm going to engage full self-driving. It's pretty smooth here. Hopefully no traffic comes up behind me, or I might have to cancel this. There's a roundabout up here, and it doesn't use the roundabout properly. It gets in the left lane as it's supposed to. It's making a left turn up here, and if you watch, okay, left turn signal, that's good. It's slowing down for the roundabout. Oh, it was confused on what lane to get in. Now it has its right turn signal on there, but it's going left. There it decided to use left. So the fact it's always, for the last year that I've used this on and off, it's always used its right turn signal in that roundabout. I have no idea why. It only does it in that roundabout. And the problem is it's just wrong. And I had a car come in front of me because they thought I was exiting the roundabout. So it is a safety issue. It's not negligible. Okay, so I'm getting a full self-driving maybe degraded here, but for the examples I'm showing you, it won't matter. I had brought up the rear camera, and my next issue is that it tries to literally follow the yellow lines. And right there, it cut in really late. Well, the problem is if you have a car behind you, I sometimes find that them starting to pass you on your left already before that. And now it's turning left onto this street. It should do fine here, but it has a sharp right turn to the wheel right now, and I think it's just doing it for visibility, but it's making me kind of nervous. The left turn signal's on, so I'll assume it's doing the right thing. It stopped way behind the line there. Cut the corner. Yeah, but it's okay. It didn't drive any different than most of the normal drivers, actually. So that's my second gripe. My third one I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so my next gripe is that it uses the wrong lane far too often. Right now it's in the left lane. There's no one in the right lane, but when there's traffic here, there'll be a lot of traffic in the right lane. And the car is still in the left lane. It needs to make a right turn in just a few blocks. So at the next light, if you can see the light up there in the video, it might be kind of small at this point, but you'll see that it needs to make a right turn, and it doesn't even try to get into that lane until right before the stoplight. And okay, it's doing it now, but if there's traffic, it won't be able to do it. No, it still hasn't even gotten in there. But like I said, it works okay now, but almost always there's a lot of traffic here. So it's really kind of irritating that it waits so long to get into the right lane. Now I'm curious what it'll do with this pedestrian here. Oh, it didn't run him over. I'm giving it just a little bit of a gas so it doesn't, I say gas, but you know what I mean. A little bit of go pedal because it was hesitating and a little unnatural there, but it would have figured it out just fine. So that's my gripe. It doesn't use the right turn later, and several times when I've been using it to go to my coffee shop up here, it totally is unable to get into that lane and has to fail over and go straight and then go a lot of extra distance, when they simply could have had it get into the right lane when it was available. So my next issue is at this next right turn at the stoplight up here, that the car has this really annoying tendency to pick the wrong lane, and it's done this the entire time of full self-driving. Every time it can be a little different sometimes, but it making sure it's not going to try to go through there because the snow will block it. Every time it makes this right turn, it goes too far to the right and goes into the right turn lane, and then it panics because it's in a right turn lane and it needs to be in the next lane over, but I don't know if it knows it can be in that lane, so it just does really weird driving at this position. So I'm going to take my hands off the wheel and see it goes into this right turn lane here. I would usually not do it because it might mess up someone behind me, but you notice there was no one behind me, and then it throws a random blinker there for a second for no reason. So that's just on my one drive to work. There's 3 main gripe spots. They've been there for years, or for a year or more, and it also missed the turn in, but it's turning in right now. I'm not doing that. I'm just seeing what it'll do in the parking lot. I better stop it because there's pedestrians up here. No, it just stopped me right at where I'm supposed to be, so that's good. Okay, now I need to go get my coffee, and I will be right back, and I'll show you my other great points on the way home. What I'm hoping to catch are one of these depth perception issues that I have with the car, and they're actually the real reason I'm getting away from, going to get rid of full self-driving for a while, is that those are actually dangerous, because like I've had it try to turn left behind another car that was already in the intersection. Like, it, instead of going around the front of the car, it tried to go around the back of the car that was in a turn lane, and things like that. And it did it because of depth perception, that it couldn't see that there was a lane behind the car. It thought the car was parked on the side of the road, and those are the things I'm actually canceling it for. And the little minor things on the way to work here, they'll eventually fix those. They're all can be fixed with visual or maybe a little bit of mapping updates, but the depth perception issues are the ones that really bother me, and like especially at night, because the depth perception is bad at night because you have fewer visual clues. So I'm hoping I can catch one of those, but I may not too. My last day is today, so we'll see. Okay, now I'm just leaving the parking lot and I'll head to my work. Okay, I have plenty of time to go. Let's see if the car does it. I might help it along here because I don't know. Oh, I don't know where it's going. It went the wrong way. It literally just made a right turn. The car turned the wrong way out of the parking lot. You notice it's not following its blue line. Jesus, I've never seen that happen before. It looks like it's going to correct itself here. I suspect the GPS had the wrong heading in it or something. It just started up. Probably thought it was on the other side of the road or something. I accidentally canceled it there because it tried to turn into the turn lane, but that's just something that happens with here. I don't know if I would consider that. It would have figured it out, I think. I'm not sure. Well, that was a little exciting. It always wants to use the long lane here. See if it's figured it out yet. It has, and now it's using the correct lane. It uses this middle lane. The right lane also goes straight, but it's really meant for right turning cars, and it has an immediate right turn after the intersection into the gas station there. So that's an improvement. It figured out that one. Now after the mistake of going the wrong direction, it's a little annoying, but the next intersection it would always get confused at is this light up here. This light forces you to go to the right and then back to the left with a median. It's intentionally to slow you down, but the car picks the wrong lane. See, if you look at the sign, the left lane is turn left, center is go straight, right is turn right, but the car will pick this right lane over here. See, I had canceled it there, but it was going for this one. And it'll probably figure it out last second, but I didn't even mean to cancel it. I just barely touched the wheel there and it canceled for some reason. Now I'm gonna intentionally cancel at this next intersection because I actually wanted to take this alternate way to go, because it used to always mess up when it was doing that. So I'm gonna cancel it to make it go the other way, just to, because I prefer going that way when there's heavy traffic. This other way doesn't really do. So there's not much traffic at all right now. So let me cancel it through this intersection. What happens when it's busy is that turn lane backs up, and then you don't ever get to go. You know, you have to wait the light cycle to go. Then you also get stuck turning at a red light that has traffic at it usually. Like right now it's New Year's Eve, so weekend, there's not a lot of traffic. Not that there's ever a lot of traffic around here compared to the city, but there's enough that it causes problems. I'll wait for the directions to update here. Okay, so we'll take the back road. This has kind of a tricky left turn on a hill with typically poor visibility. Not poor visibility, but it's hard for the car to see the lines where it needs to go. Last year it was really bad here, but more recently it's gotten better. I'm going to watch it with these left cars. I've had it try to cut in front. Okay, this is perfect. There's a car on my left at the intersection, so it can't cut the corner. Okay, that intersection is fixed. It used to cut the corner really bad and like go into the opposite turn lane and just a disaster. That was last year. It's been better this year, so. And you can tell on a road with no lane markings, it does pretty well. Every now and then, though, it goes a little too far to the left, which makes me nervous. Probably makes other cars nervous too, because it looks like it's playing chicken with them. Like it's drifting too far to the left now. I accidentally canceled it. I'll restart it here. It would have been fine there. It was putting pressure on to go left, and I was putting pressure on to go right, and it was enough to cancel. Then it'll probably be fine for the rest of the drive to work here. It used to want to drive through the parking lot with the car dealer, but I think that was a map issue. They've since updated the map. I really like this Budget Cars Cedar Rapids. They just installed a huge solar array, and they bought a bunch of Teslas to use as rental cars. So it's kind of neat that a local car rental place did that. And they put the solar array they put up must have been, like 50 kilowatts or something. It's going a little slow. I wish it would accelerate a little faster. That's good. It kind of varies. Sometimes it accelerates really quick, and other times it's really slow. So So it did that well, and it looks like it's going to try to turn into my parking lot and go to my parking spot, so I'll let it try. And it's a little confused there, so it slows down. Sometimes it tries to drop me off on the busy street, and I don't know what makes it decide what to do. So I'm just letting it go and see if it'll take me to my parking spot. Because if it can take me to my parking spot, which it did, okay, it's just gonna stop. It says it's completed. And it took me within, a few feet of my parking spot there, so it could get me to work and back. So that's pretty impressive. It sometimes wants to just drop me off in the middle of the busy street, and so it'll just come to a stop on the street with, huge amount of traffic. So that's a different issue. But it looks like they are getting closer to getting parking spot to parking spot instead of address to address. So now, honestly, with where, if I'm driving this way to the 74th Street turn, it's past this light up here, and I would be in the right turn lane now, but anytime before this light is when it should be in the right turn lane for there, or the right lane for this, because the right lane continues straight across the intersection and then turns right onto the 74th Street. So the car should not be in this lane right now. But I understand maybe staying here until you get past the places where people turn right. But it really should have moved into the right turn lane by now. Or not right turn lane, right lane. Which, as you can see, where that CRV is going, I guess they're turning, but it should be behind this Explorer. Because if I'm stuck here now, most likely during traffic, I'm not going to be able to get right beforehand. And this one's exceptionally bad. This is worse than the other ones because I don't think it knows that the right turn lane exists. I think it thinks that this road is a 2-lane. I mean, in this map it's okay, but I don't think it knows that there's a right lane that it's supposed to be in here, because if you watch it, the right turn is right here, at the next intersection. So about a few hundred feet. And it's still not in the right lane, must turn right. There, it gets in the right turn lane. But almost always all the traffic's in the left lane there, so it really causes it's an issue what it's doing. And it seems like such a little thing, but I don't use full self-driving because of it. And sometimes if I force it over to the other lane with the signal, it'll just move back into the left lane if I do it too early. Now, the reason I'm having it take me home from work, because there's 2 unprotected left turns that are really bad, and that I've never trusted that. It'll do them, but it just totally makes me nervous and makes cars nervous, and cars get annoyed. Is this one on the C. Oh, it started this thing where it brakes really hard, really early, and then creeps up to the stop line, and it's really difficult. Okay, so there's a bunch of cars coming from the left, and it's creeping forward. Okay, it's across the sidewalk. Okay, it actually did good at that. Okay, but I don't like how it creeps forward and makes me a little nervous. And now it's getting into the right lane, and now this is the huge problem here. This is not a straight lane. This is a forced right exit, on the next intersection, but the car thinks it can go straight here, and it's still here. Okay, now it sees that it's a left turn lane, and it slams on its brakes. I usually wouldn't let it do this, but as you see, there's no traffic behind me. So, it's one of the reasons I don't use full self-driving, because it does that stuff. It's not natural. It annoys the other traffic around you. And it should be fine for most of the rest of the drive now, except for one light. And hopefully there's no traffic so I can show you what it does there. Perfect there. So this is the unprotected left turn. And, you know, a cross traffic left turn. And this one can get really bad. It looks like there's not much traffic right now, so it won't be. But, you know, during rush hour, which is usually when I'm driving this way, there's a lot of traffic coming left. This is why I never actually drive this way. So it did perfectly fine there. With this build, that's not bad. But again, there wasn't much traffic, so the traffic's the problem. Because it starts creeping into it, and then if there's a car turning left in front of you that's stopped, I think sometimes the car will see them as a non-threat and go in front of them, and it really shouldn't. Not when there's a lot of other traffic around. Now, I might not be able to show you the next issue because I probably have a car behind me here. So it went through the roundabout fine. It doesn't have a blinker problem going this way through this roundabout. Oh good, the car didn't follow me. Okay, so we should be okay. So it's gonna make a left turn at this light. This light's an emergency signal. It only ever changes if there's cars coming out of the fire station. But the car, for some reason, thinks the light's turning red, so it always stops at it. And I'll give it 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. It actually went. 90% of the time I stop at that, it will just never go. It'll just literally sit there. So maybe they fixed it in this most recent build. And this most recent build is, what's it called? It's 10.69.25, which corresponds to the main software build of 2022.44.25.5. So maybe they fixed it, or maybe it just lucked into not seeing it as turning red. But that flashing yellow turn arrow with the flashing yellow light on the main light, it just confuses it to no end. So with that, it's coming up on New Year's, so Happy New Year's, everyone, and like and subscribe. And I'm going to cancel Full Self-Driving for now, but I'll have other Tesla and Kia and EV videos in general. So thanks very much.